Hey everybody, we are back live with Variants Episode 3. I'm so glad to have you back. We're looking forward to a super fun time. We are having a little bit of a technical issue, so ignore it, and we'll ignore it as well. But in the meantime, I would like to let our Optiverse cast introduce themselves. Rusty cannot be here tonight because he is having a little bit of a stomach bug and some other stuff going on that will not allow him to be here. So we'll see him next week or 2 weeks from today. But I want to skip to Randy. Randy, why don't you tell us who you are?
Hey you guys, I'm Randy. I'm playing Chameleon. It's really nice to be here. Looking forward to an awesome game.
And Derek. Can't hear you, Derek, if you're talking. Oh no! Panic! Still can't hear you. So we'll skip to Danny.
I'm just kidding. I can talk, actually. This is Danny, and I'm playing Gushin, and ready to get rolling here down in Colombia, where we're about to roll on some action.
That's right. Speaking of rolling on in action, well, I would say Cassie, introduce yourself, but it looks like Cassie dropped the call too, and Derek. So now we are just left with 2 variants. This is madcap, universe-bending stuff. Derek, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I am Derek. I am playing Two-Spirit or Indigo St. John.
Excellent. And I want to remind you that down at the bottom, there's a stream boss. If you defeat the stream boss, then you get to give a hero point to one of our heroes, or to me, the GM, or to one of our NPCs, like Cliff the janitor, if he ends up showing up again. Or you could keep that hero point to yourself for use at some time. Cassie will be minding the chat, so if you do beat the stream boss and get the hero point, just let her know who you want to give it to in chat, and then we'll make that happen. I want to give you guys a heads up about something else that we're doing every week that we're not doing the variant stream, and that is something called Let's Chat. That's basically where I recap what had gone on the previous week. In the variants episode, we talk about what might be going on. We talk about behind-the-scenes stuff, and maybe even reveal some spoilers or tell you guys what's going on behind the scenes or in my head. And last week, and I might make a habit of doing this, we revealed some new Optiverse art that's coming down the pipe. So if you don't have anything to do, that's every other week that we're not playing variants. We'll be on Let's Chat for an hour, and that will be at 7 o'clock Central or 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Also, down there where the stream boss is, you'll notice that we are $68 into our $285 goal to get some more art. And I just made this decision today, and I thought it would be awesome that if we hit this goal, then you, the audience, will get to choose which character or what we make the art out of. So we'll take a poll, and you guys can suggest what you want art made out of, and then we'll make that happen. Welcome back, Cassie. Why don't you introduce yourself, if you're talking?
I'll certainly try. Currently, I have Gremlins. My name is Cassie Levitt, and I will be playing Takedown.
Right on. We'll see about that. Hey, one more thing. If you guys... No, not one more thing. I think that was it. Wasn't it? Yes, I think that's all I had to say. I'm so glad to be here with you guys. It's going to be awesome. When we last left the variants, they had flown down to El Salvador on the request of Indigo St. John, who was working for a shadowy organization called Achilles. Achilles thinks that the variants owe them one for sinking Soulforge Island, and Soulforge Island is where they had an agent and they had been doing some long-term investigations. Well, they feel like the variants screwed that up, and so they owe them one. So they are enlisting the variants' help to go down to El Salvador to apprehend a genetic anomaly who seems to be kidnapping a bunch of people down in El Salvador. So they've gone down there. They ended up finding a genetic anomaly in Chameleon, and Chameleon ended up pickpocketing Takedown. But just as they were about to apprehend Chameleon and turn him into Achilles, they heard a scream. They rushed to see what it was, and there was a woman screaming about how her children had been dragged into the river by some mysterious monster called La Llorona. And that is where we're going to pick up right now. So, you guys are rushing to this woman. She's just screamed La Llorona. Her daughter or her kid has been dragged into the river. Reminder that Bootleg had said he tried to scan for genetic anomalies and did not find any hint of them.
Right.
So what's your next course of action?
I'm going to speak with the woman. I haven't actually defined my languages yet, but Spanish seems like a logical one for me to speak. And ask her what happened, like what she saw.
So you said you speak Spanish now, right? Yay. As a secret agent, you'd probably want to speak Spanish. That sounds good. So she says essentially that she was allowing her children to play by the river. She was going into town to do her business, and when she came back, she had seen the child trying to struggle to get away from the river, and she saw a monster that she's calling La Llorona dragging her child into the river.
What did the monster look like?
She said it looked like a woman made out of water, but monstrous.
Can I see anything in the area?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a perception.
All right, 1 second. Let me remember. I figured it. So, yes, perception. How's that? An 18.
Okay, so with 18, you're looking around, and yeah, you can see definitely where a child's hands had been dragged. You know, there's muddy claw marks, right, going into the river where you could imagine that a child had tried to struggle and failed to escape. Also around, there's just evidence of general children playing, but nothing else out of the ordinary.
I'm going to ask the woman if she's heard about the other missing children.
Okay. She says that she has not heard of any other missing children other than she knows that La Llorona does take children. Like, that's her thing, so.
I turn to the man we do not know yet as Chameleon. Do you know anything about this?
I know the legend, but it's just a tale that people tell their children to keep them safe. I look at her and I'm gonna ask her like how long ago this was. Like,
she says this just happened. Like, she just started screaming about it just now.
So I guess I'm gonna jump in the water, because if the child's in the water, we need to get it.
Okay, you jump in the water. Which way are you headed?
I don't know. I'm gonna look at the way that I'm gonna just try to go under there. I mean, I can swim pretty well. So.
Okay, so you jump in the water. You roll another perception check.
Okay.
You don't see anything that would lead you to believe that this La Llorona is still around. And you don't see any sign of the children either.
Okay, so then I'm gonna get back up out of the water.
So you don't drown. Got it.
All right. I guess what I'm gonna do is or Grishin's gonna do there is he's going to go ahead and get up over the ground a little bit, fly up, and then he's just gonna kind of fly down the river a ways and then kind of back up and just see maybe if there's some sign within maybe a mile and a half in either direction that something came out of the river.
Okay. How much have you used your ability to fly since you've discovered it?
He's not super duper good at it as far as like turning and stuff, but he's got the concept down.
Okay.
It's one of the first things he kind of learned to do.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and make a perception test as well at this point as he flies. Almost as good as I can
25. Yeah, flying above, you get a pretty good idea of the landscape around. You don't notice anything near the city. You don't notice anything near this area, but you do get a sense that further south, as you follow the river a little bit, there are some signs that there was some unnatural damage to some of the trees along the creek bed, along the riverbed. Like something destructive had kind of made its way through there.
Oh wow. Okay. With my lack of any sort of architecture or nature skills, I would not be able to know if that happened 5 minutes ago or 5 days ago. So I'm going to head back and report. And I'm a little unsure at this point because Bootleg took off to do something.
No, Bootleg's there.
Okay, Bootleg's there. So we're Bootleg's there. So yeah, I'm going to come back and I just let him know. I say, hey, there's I guess downriver.
Mm-hmm.
Downriver, just almost a mile out, there looks like a spot where something's really like busted stuff up, and I came back. I thought I'd check it out, but then I thought it's probably not a good idea. I mean, by myself, you know.
Sure.
I turn to again, Chameleon. This is your home turf. Are you willing to help us find this kid?
Of course. Let's go.
What do we call you?
My name is Mateo. Splash.
And Mateo on Indigo. Let's go. Start running up the riverbed.
Yep, I follow.
Okay, so you're running up the riverbed. And what? You go to the place where...
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make another perception check. 26.
Yep.
Yeah, you're able to see that there does seem to be, like, all the trees that are along the river seem to be cut down, but not with any tool that you can imagine. They look like they were pushed over by something that was immensely powerful. And there's probably 5 or 6 trees that were pushed down this way, and all of the soil along the river seems to be stirred up and broken.
Does it seem to be directional, like something leaving the river or going to the river?
It does seem to be coming from the south. Yeah, so it looked like it was coming from the south going north to where you were at maybe a fast pace and destroying things along its path.
I want to try to use one of my powers, actually. I I have heat vision, so I want to see if there's any
like heat
traces of
vision,
that
like
sort
you
of
can
moving
shoot
from
heat
the-
out of your eyeballs, or you
no,
can
no, as in I
thermal vision.
like see heat signature. Yeah,
Gotcha.
thermal vision is better.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'm gonna use that.
All right.
So you see Chameleon, and he starts really focusing really hard. Sort of his eyes seem really laser focused as he sort of looks around the area, especially from the river, moving towards where all those trees are, trying to see if something recently went through there.
You are not able to see anything that looks off to you.
Okay, I try.
It basically looks normal, I guess, would be the...
Sounds about right. Okay.
So with the trees around, are we like outside the populated area here? Are we
Yeah, it's a mile or two south from where you were, and where you were was already sort of on the outskirts of the city.
Well, I guess I look back and turn to bootleg and go, so I guess I'll take point up in the air and just kind of just travel along the line. I mean, so the trees are like knocked down, but that path, is it a path of destruction? Does it continue?
It looked to be maybe one outburst, but you're not able to see further down the river. It's possible it could be more.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna try and check it out and see if there's anything else, or maybe a path or a trail we can follow. I'll be back pretty quick, I guess, and then I just go ahead and take off in that direction.
Okay. So you're just going to follow the river basically as far, maybe just a couple minutes or a couple miles?
Right, just a few miles, just see if I can find any more, anything else that looks like this sort of damage, or even, and then probably just kind of go up in the air a little higher and see if maybe further out from the river there's something that catches my attention.
Okay. As you climb higher and higher, being not that familiar with what things are supposed to look like, it's really hard for you to tell anything that's out of place. You do see a town further down the river, but that's that's maybe 10 miles or more down the river. But you don't notice any other signs of obvious destruction.
Okay. All right, so yeah, while I'm doing that, eventually I'll get back to the group, but they're probably over there doing
Okay.
things.
Mateo, do you know anything about the disappearance of children in this area?
Recently, I let me think. There's not much that I heard, just that some kids have gone missing, but yeah, I don't really know. I guess the next best place would be the town that's off in the direction that your friend flew a few minutes ago. That's all I know. Hey.
Well, we don't have any other leads, so let's go see if there's anything in that town that we can find.
Okay. So you fly down to, or are you going to fly or are you going to head down there together?
I guess me and him can't fly.
That's
Or maybe he
Well, if I get back and it looks like they're going to, once I land and if they mention that, I'm just going to go get the plane.
You could get the plane, sure.
Yeah. So, I guess this has been pretty quick, huh? How long has it been since maybe the big robot battle and where we're at now? Has it been just days,
it's been about a week now, less than a week.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to the plane then and hop inside. And then what I'm going to do is just kind of imagine something that's a little less amazing in terms of how it looks.
Sure.
And so that we can kind of fly a bit under the radar a little, and then I'm gonna go down and pick everybody up.
Okay. So here comes Guixin with the. You guys don't have a name for it yet. It's just a The golden plane. So he's coming with your ship and parks it just a little bit further out of town.
You guys have a sheep?
Yeah.
They do. We're only nominally together.
I need more friends like you.
We should talk after this.
Yeah.
I need more friends like you. Great, let's be friends. Okay, so you head down. You're flying in your ship. Are you taking any precautions to not be obvious, or are you just flying around?
For starters, we're not like a sleek, futuristic ship. We are probably some sort of biplane type deal. Just something that's not.
So you have willed the ship to transform into a sort of golden version of like a propeller plane or something like that.
Right, like a Cessna or something.
Okay. The same plane that you used to rescue the original variants.
Yes, because it's one of the only planes that are in Guishin's head now. Because he's not really
sure.
So we're gonna fly, and of course, despite looking like a Cessna, I don't imagine it necessarily needs to sound like one. So it's probably got a lower, just not as loud. And I am gonna kind of try to fly a little bit low, so you don't see it from the ground until it's like really close, and then you pass by.
Okay, so you are flying this looks like a propeller plane, and there is indeed a town that was about 12 miles to the south along the river. Are you landing outside the town, inside the town, way outside of town?
I direct Guishin to land outside of town.
Okay.
Great, thanks. All right, got it. And then, yes, he lands outside of town. He was considering perhaps landing on Main Street, but so we land. We probably do a VTOL landing where he's kind of like the plane kind of comes up and then stops and then just kind of hovers down to the ground. And I get everything kind of parked and situated, and the door opens and everyone can get out.
To do a little power show off, Two Spirit is gonna get on their bike and ride off, and then split into two with two bikes, so each of them can hop onto the back of one and head into town.
So you guys see Indigo split into two different people and do some cool bike trick. So now you know, apparently, that Indigo is a genetic anomaly like you, and you know what their power is.
So I drive all four of us. Or Bootleg is still with us. He didn't leave before the plane, did he?
No. Bootleg and Takedown are still with you.
Oh, okay.
Takedown can run as fast as your bikes can go, so I think only Bootleg needs to ride on the back. So between Bootleg and Chameleon.
All right, so Bootleg and Mateo ride on the back of my bikes.
Okay. Where are you headed? Into town? Any particular part?
Does the river run through this town?
Not directly through it, no.
In the part of town that's closest to the river, I think is our most likely lead.
Okay. It's mostly farmland, but there is, a couple of places where the main parts of the town are closer. There's people all around. It's not a big town. Something you might call more like a village, but there are people around, and it seems like more like an extreme suburb, maybe. But these people just prefer to live like simpler lives.
And I'm going to go to one of the women I guess when we get to that part of town, and I want to ask, just sort of, if they've heard anything about these disappearing kids, that we're just there to sort of help people, and do that.
Well, at first they welcome you. The town's called Santa Balta. They welcome you to Santa Balta. They are curious about the costumes that Guishin and Takedown and Bootleg are wearing. Two-Spirit, you're not wearing a suit, are you? Or are you wearing a costume or a suit? Or what are you... How is Indigo dressed?
Right now, I'd probably be dressed basically like an agent, just sort of a nondescript suit.
Okay.
In black stuff.
Yeah, so they don't see people dressed like you very often, and so they're curious. How is Chameleon dressed?
Well, it's hot, so he's wearing like a tank top and some jeans that seem pretty worn out and used, and some shoes that have seen better days. But yeah.
Chameleon, you notice that Bootleg, Guishin, and Takedown, even though they are wearing what looks to be very heavy costume type material, they don't seem to be sweating at all, even in the heat and the humidity. And of course, Bootleg and Guishin and Takedown know that this is because they have their quantum stitched costumes, which are oh so fancy. But this woman, do you have any social skills?
See, I have insight, persuasion a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead and roll persuasion and see if you can't get her to open up. It's 18?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she at first seems very hesitant, but then begins to tell you, well, yes, we have had many children go missing. So many that we have few children left here in Santa Balta. And she starts to cry a little bit and, kind of starts talking about how La Llorona has stolen all the children from the village.
Guishin comments to Takedown that the new guy must be kind of a jerk because he made her cry. Because we don't... Guishin doesn't speak Spanish.
He doesn't speak Takedown just kind of shrugs, like, maybe you're right. But she also says, like, I really don't know what's going on here. Just along for the ride. So she asks, what did he say? What did she say?
She said, that there's, I relay what the woman told them, but the one thing I really want to look at is at Indigo and say, she said the same, La Llorona.
Let's ask around, see if anybody has any sense of the direction La Llorona goes when she takes the children, or where she goes to. Maybe some people here know something.
Good idea.
It is getting pretty late now, so the village is starting to shut down a bit. So there's not as many people that are going to be walking out and about.
Is it like dinner time late or like bedtime late?
Yeah, dinner time. So people are starting to head inside.
I'd say like spend a couple hours knocking on doors just to see if we can find something. Don't have much in the way of leads right now, so.
I'd also say like somebody should maybe watch the river, because that's where all these kids are getting taken, right?
Yeah, the woman, before you start headed off, she says since it's getting dark, they do have a lot of extra places to sleep since all the kids are no longer with them. So she insists that since you're a guest in her town, she wants you to stay if you need a place to stay.
That is crazy dark.
What's that? Oh yeah.
I thank her for her
rent is very cheap now in this place.
Wow.
Oh no. Okay.
I thank her for her generosity, and I guess we'll take her up on that.
All right, she does show. She walks you back to her home. She doesn't insist that you come in right now, but she does show you around and everything like that. So bootleg and takedown are actually going to stay and talk to her some more. And if you guys want to go do your thing and walk around the town, you absolutely can.
All right.
I say let's do it.
So as we start to do that, Guixin is going to ask Monteo there where the best tacos are.
I don't know this town so well, but in
they're-
San Salvador, when we get back, I'll definitely take you to some places, eh?
All right. I just figured, like this is where the real tacos are. Totally not where the real tacos.
You can find some street tacos if you want to.
Yeah, there are tacos, but the best food here is pupusas for sure. You should definitely try some of that.
But you're not exactly sure what you're gonna get, here in Santa Balta from the guy not wearing shoes, just pushing a little hot cart around.
Right.
But if you want to take a shot,
I mean, he's hungry, and he realizes suddenly that he doesn't have any Colombia money. That's exactly what he calls it. Like, I don't have any Colombia money. Is that?
So Chameleon looks at him and goes, El Salvador.
El Salvador? We're not in Colombia? Oh, okay.
And I just stop talking to him and walk away.
I assume Achilles would have set me up with some local currency, so I'm going to hand him effectively a $20 bill, but then I'm going to split into two and start knocking on doors.
Okay. So Guixin, you've got some taco money if you want to spend it.
All right.
But in the meantime, Two Spirit has split into two different beings and is now kind of going door to door. So if you guys want to get tacos, you can, or if you want to resume the search, you can do that too.
Yeah.
I see little kids. I hear little kids are being taken, so I want to find out what that's about.
Yeah, Guixin's gonna get tacos. Mostly he is kind of pushing a little bit of like knocking on people's doors but not speaking their language anxiety, like he's just kind of tacos. I can get down with tacos.
So tacos is a language that he speaks, and he's not sure that he's going to be much help walking around doing other thing. Okay.
Right, and then he's got to kind of keep an eye on things while he eats.
Okay. Roll a fortitude check.
Oh man. Okay. Fortitude. Here we go. Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Yeah, these tacos are amazing. You have no problem putting down these tacos, and you're having a great time. You think that if you ever get a chance to make it back here when kids' lives aren't on the line, something that you might want to do with these tacos.
When kids' lives are.
Stopping in at Chipotle and you're like, nah, the real tacos are in Santa Balta, El Salvador. I mean.
Okay, so you head to.
Are there any more kids still out?
No. In La Balta or Santa Balta, there doesn't seem to be any children at all. Actually.
Oh, done here. Okay.
That's what the lady had seemed to indicate. Like that there was. This town was kind of small to begin with, and there's just no more kids.
I will ask her, just like, how often were kids disappearing?
She indicates that they maybe about a year ago it started, and at first it was just one, but then a couple months later it was another group. And then it just kept getting more and more often until now that there's no more.
And when does that usually, like, is there like something that connects those different stories? Are they all by the river? Are they all at night?
She says they don't really know. One or two people have claimed to see a water monster or even a woman taking children, but most of the time it's just they just disappear. They don't know what happened to them.
Okay, so I don't expect we're going to find much, but yeah, I'm going door to door, basically asking people if, when kids disappeared, if they saw any direction that they seemed to be going, like upstream or downstream, that kind of thing.
Okay, well, the first house you come to, there's a man who answers the door. He's kind of he's an older gentleman. He's got piercing eyes that just seem to be very intense. And grayish hair. His back's kind of bent over from working, and essentially says, hello, what do you want?
I flash him if I have some sort of Achilles ID. I know it probably doesn't say Achilles on it, being a secret organization, but UN badge.
Super secret. Yeah. He stares at that and kind of just shrugs like he doesn't know what that is.
We're in Santa Balta investigating the disappearing kids. I wonder if you could tell me just about if you saw anything?
He waves you to come in.
Okay.
Who's with you? Chameleon, are you with him, or are you doing your own thing?
I would imagine I was sort of knocking on doors too.
Okay, so everybody's kind of doing their own thing at different spots within the town.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, when you're split up into two different beings, is it still Indigo?
Yeah, they go by the same name.
Okay. So he introduces himself as Fernando Hernandez and invites you to come sit down at his table.
Thank you very much. Did you have children?
He starts to cry, and he grabs a picture. It's not in a frame or anything like this, but a picture, and these are my children. Please look at them. He shows you a picture of two boys, probably 5 and 7 years old. And he says, "These were my boys. They were taken by La Llorona. Can you help me get them back?"
Indigo, with some effort, keeps it together and says, "Yes, that's what we're here to do." Did you see when your children disappeared? Did they disappear at the same time?
My children disappeared, yes, at the same time. It was 6 months ago, but I did not see them. We had known that La Llorona had been taking children, however, so I knew it was her. And he's just continuing to cry. These memories are still very fresh to him.
I put my hand on his arm. Do you know of anybody in town who saw anything? We're looking to see if we can find any clues as to where La Llorona is taking them.
There are a few people who have seen her, but most of the children just disappeared without a trace. If you want to talk to someone who has seen them, I would talk to Junior, and I would talk to Talley and Accela.
Junior, Talley, and Accela. Thank you very much.
Yes. Please find my boys.
Can I keep these photos?
Yes, please. But please be careful. They are all I have of my boys.
Of course. I will bring them back to you.
He offers you something to drink and something to eat. And if you don't have a place to stay, he offers you a place to stay. Please be my guest to stay here, since you are helping me.
We are already staying with someone else in town who lost children. But
of course. Well, bless you. What is your name?
Indigo St. John.
Indigo, please save my children. Ricky and Hernan, please save them.
We will try. I move on, and I guess kind of head back to our host's house so I can find out where Junia, Talia, and Accela live.
Okay. You head back to this woman's name is Alejandra, by the way, and Alejandra welcomes you back. Bootleg and Takedown have been talking to her at length. Her name is Alejandra Samayoya, and she does in fact know these three people. She says that Talley was the first one to lose her children. And the whole town thought that she had killed her children until these other children started to disappear as well. Junior was the most recent one to lose his children, his daughter, and this was probably only, she says, 3 weeks ago. Accela, she's a bit of a crazy woman, and maybe she sees things. Maybe she is just making things up. But she does point you to where they live, along the main strip.
I imagine that after going door to door and sort of maybe not finding out anyone who could help, that I would wander back towards the house.
Well, I mean, you can knock on your own. I was just that was just what Indigo was doing. But when you knock, yeah.
Okay.
A woman opens a door for you and sees you and immediately closes the door.
I'm going to knock again and try my nicest charm that I can try to. I know you don't like strange. Just a little bit. Can we talk to?
Since we do not need any urchins here.
Just trying to out here.
She is hesitant to let you in. She says, "What do you want? You have 30 seconds." Okay, so she won't let you in. So in the meantime, Guishin, what are you doing?
So, eating tacos and just kind of checking out the scene. So it's dinner time, and I guess a lot of people have gone in. But seeing, what kind of, who is staying out, what they might be doing, and if anyone is, going maybe out of the town, where they might be going and what they're doing, or if there's anyone in town that looks like maybe they don't belong, like, here we are, we don't belong, so pretty easy to spot that way. But maybe if there's someone that doesn't look like they're maybe overdressed as well and not part of our group, that sort of thing.
Make a perception check. We're all about perception checks today.
Yes.
It's not like it's a big town, so you're pretty sure that even with your half-hearted attempt to look around, that there's not other people here that are dressed differently than most other people.
Right. So we're not looking at some sort of conspiracy or group.
Doesn't look like it, no.
All right. After that, once I'm done with tacos, I'm probably going to go ahead and fly up and maybe just start a spiral, and just start flying kind of out and just seeing if there's anything to see that maybe catches my attention or what have you. Maybe do that for half an hour to an hour before I just kind of come back.
You do notice immediately once you start flying around that the townspeople seem to be looking at you with a little bit more fear. They're not used to seeing strange things like this. Maybe they've heard of superheroes, maybe not, but they do know that whatever's happening feels supernatural to them. So when they see you, they seem to be getting a little bit scared.
Okay, well, I'm not really flying just around the town.
Okay.
My intent was to kind of go and actually leave the town and start seeing like the area around the town.
Gotcha. Like aerial reconnaissance farther away.
Right. So probably a couple people might have saw it, but I'm not like trying to cause a panic in the town itself by being the crazy flying man.
Sure.
Okay. So yeah, just seeing if there's anything just kind of beyond, towards the river, away from the river. But again, like I said, just kind of doing a spiral. He read something about ants one day when he was paying attention in school.
Okay. So Indigo, you got that information from Alejandra. What are you going to do with it?
I'm going to kind of ask her what houses they live in or where they work. But I think at this point, it's probably getting late enough that we should hit it again tomorrow morning.
Okay. Chameleon, you are not able to convince that woman to let you in. Didn't get her name or nothing. She sees you as a street urchin and didn't want anything to do with you. So you kind of experienced that a couple of times and slink back to Alejandra's house, sort of
very defeated.
Yeah.
Very defeated.
Bootleg, once you get back, says, we might have an extra uniform for you if that'll be more comfortable than what you're wearing.
He just carries them like he just brings them. I don't know. It was weird.
I mean, it's kind of cool that they're not sweating, so I sort of want to try it out. Yeah.
All right, so he gives you one that basically is a generic for. It looks basically like his own suit. It's not necessarily exactly like it, but it's the generic variant uniform. But it does fit fairly well. It kind of shrinks to fit you, and you notice that it's actually quite cool, even in the midst of the humidity and heat. You wonder to yourself about the wonders of the material that this is made of. But yeah, it is getting late, and the town does seem to be winding down. So if you wanted to get some rest, or if you wanted to do something at night, that's your decision.
Yeah, I think Two-Spirit is just going to get some rest.
Okay, anybody not sleeping?
Guishin is going to sleep in the plane just to make sure that everything stays kosher out there. And then he's got his communicator so he can communicate back and forth with Bootleg in case something does happen.
Okay.
This is the first time I've been in a house in a long time, just sleeping in the house. So I'm gonna clock out. I fall. You see him sort of move over to the wherever the couch or the bed or whatever's there, and he's just gone.
All right, so Chameleon's just straight up asleep, and Guishin is on the plane. Indigo, what are you up to?
We're gonna report back to Achilles on just finding Mateo and what is happening so far, and that requires further investigation. But then we're just gonna take Alejandra up on her generosity and go to sleep.
Your officer in charge of you is a man named John Rasmussen. He's the one that you're reporting to, and he is. You talk to him about Chameleon. I assume that you kind of relay everything that's happened so far on the mission, and he's a little bit skeptical that Chameleon is not the one that you're looking for.
I'm considering that as a possibility, but right now he doesn't seem to have the power set that would be required to do what's happening. A lot of people have seen this person, and we haven't seen him do anything like that.
Indigo, are you the master of powers? Do you understand how everyone's powers work? Do you have a degree in genetic anomalism that I don't know about?
Commander, as I said, I'm keeping an eye on him. I just don't think it's him.
I'm not interested in your opinions. I'm interested in resolving this situation. Don't let me down, St. John. If this turns pear-shaped, it's on you. And I'm going to put you right back in that crappy Seattle place we both grew up in. Grey Wolf out. Alright. Bootleg and Takedown are turning in for the night as well, but they both say that they don't mind taking one last stroll around to see if everything is okay on the outside. Bootleg seems to insist on that. He's been on enough adventures that taking one last walk around the perimeter always seems to be a benefit. And the rest of you are headed to sleep?
Yep.
Okay. You wake up in the middle of this. Well, not the middle, but in the morning, and there's bacon on. There's a smell of bacon, and it does seem like Alejandra is cooking breakfast for you. Fellows, please come and eat. It is so nice to be cooking for you.
Mateo zooms to the kitchen, just a little.
Yeah, so she's got some bacon. It's not a lot of bacon, but mostly frying potatoes and some tomatoes that she's got. She's got some tortillas, some corn tortillas, and she's offering you what she has. It smells good.
I express my appreciation, have a small breakfast, and then tell her we've got to get to work.
All right.
Yes.
Right now, it's just Two Spirit and Chameleon at breakfast. Guishin, are you heading in? You obviously didn't hear her calling.
No, and he's gonna be pretty mad if Bootleg or Takedown don't give him a buzz and let him know that there's bacon on. 'Cause that's, I mean, how do you do your team like that? But yeah, so unless someone calls him in, he's probably sleeping because he probably stayed up a little later than everyone else playing video games.
Okay. So yeah, just Two Spirit and Chameleon, you guys are the only ones who seem to be at breakfast.
Were Bootleg and Takedown sleeping at Alejandra's as
Yes.
far as we know?
Yep.
Okay. I go looking for them when they don't come for a breakfast immediately.
You do not find them. In fact, their beds seem to be not slept in at all.
He gave me a communicator before, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of tap to the open channel. Hey, anybody there?
Nothing.
If there's an alarm function that might wake up Guishin, I will activate that.
Okay. Guishin, you're hearing the alarm. Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, so that goes for probably just a little bit longer than normal people would respond, but he does eventually get it, and you just, yeah.
Guishin,
Uh-huh.
do you know where Takedown and Bootleg are?
He sits up in his berth and looks around, and
Did they sleep on the ship?
no, they're not here. What time is? Yeah, no, I don't know. They're not over there.
No, get over to the house as quick as you can. There's some breakfast too, but we need to find out where they went to.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I'll be there. Yeah. Okay. And with that, he clips it off, and I would say he gets dressed, but their uniforms are so comfy, they're like pajamas as well. So
Recycle your sweat. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome. Moisture wicking. So yeah, he just really quick washes his hair, throws way too much gel in it, and throws his mask on and heads out.
Okay.
Like when you fly, what do we see? Do you have like a tail? Like how fast are you going?
He can fly up to right now about 120 miles an hour, I think.
Oh, wow.
And when he does fly, he has just kind of a wavering effect around him. It's not a color. It's the same. It's like if you see heat rising up off of something, it kind of creates that distortion. So that's what he's got when he flies.
Quantum distortion.
Yes, quantum distortion. So yeah, he flies until he gets close enough to town that he should probably walk the rest of the way, and then heads in and just lets everyone know that he didn't find anything. He did try to scout around the area, the greater area, for a while. He didn't find anything, but the tacos were on point.
So yeah, there doesn't. Go ahead.
No, I would have heard him sort of talking to himself and saying that they weren't there when this guy, when Guishin returns. Is there a way to find your friends?
I wasn't expecting them to go missing. This is their communicator. I was expecting them to be able to respond for it. We're only working together temporarily.
Yeah, there's a way, and like takes his communicator and flips back on, and he's like, yeah, it's I don't know, settings, no, and he just starts kind of messing around with it for a while, trying to get the tracking function, working. It's on there somewhere, but
Find my friends.
But he has not.
Do you have a technology or a science skill?
No, he absolutely does not. He's if it was an iPhone, or no, it wouldn't be an iPhone. If it was a Samsung, he'd know, but it's not, so he doesn't.
Okay. So yeah, you can't figure out how to use the communicator. If Two Spirit has any technology skills, then he might be able to figure out how to reverse the signal.
Two Spirit very much does not. Two Spirit fights with a spear.
And I very much doubt that growing up on the mean streets of El Salvador, that Chameleon has much technological skill either.
He definitely does not.
No.
It is superhero amateur hour.
The non-technical team.
I mean, Guishin figures that you knew what to do because he didn't realize there was an alarm function on it. So like you're ahead of him on this communicator.
Well, we're gonna have to assume that they were taken and just keep looking. We have 3 leads. I say we all just hit them one at a time. More eyes on someone is better to figure out if they're lying to us or think of good questions to ask.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Let's start with Junior. They said that his child was the last one taken, so...
Okay. Junior's place is not very far. It's probably just 3 doors down from Alejandra's.
Alright, well that's not far at all.
With your new uniform, why don't you knock at the door, Mateo?
My pleasure. Tung, tung.
Somebody opens the door. Alejandra described him. So you know this is Junior. His name is Junior Ramirez. He's got close set eyes. He seems quite muscular, actually. And he says, What is it that you want?
Me and my friends back here, we're investigating the disappearance of children, and we heard that your children got taken recently. Yes?
He has a very pained look on his face, and he says, You think you can help get my children back?
We very much want to, yes.
Are you police or something?
No. Trust me, I am not police.
Then
I
how
am
can
the
you
opposite
help?
of police.
You and your funny costumes.
And I kind of wave the other two people over. He's asking how we can help.
I pull out my ID again. I'm an investigator with the UN. We've been sent to help.
Why do you care about the children of Santa Balta?
Threats like this need to be addressed.
Threats? You've never cared before. When my children were starving, you never cared. Why care now? Because it is a ghost? Are you ghost hunters?
It is a ghost. This is a children's story. Can you tell us more about this?
It is no story! It's La Llorona! She has taken my children! And he leaves the door open and he just storms back inside of his house. But the door is wide open.
Gingerly follow him in.
I sort of slowly walk.
All around you see basically like a shrine set up to his children. Looks like it was 2 girls and a boy, all younger than 8. And he just is sitting, shaking in anger on the side of his dining room table. Just kind of just shaking his fists up and down, trying to obviously hold back tears. No one cares! And now that there's a ghost, now people care!
Can I try like an insight to figure out what like the right approach to get this guy to trust us would be?
Sure.
$22.
Okay, that is 2 degrees of success. So I'm going to say that he, you understand that if you empathize with the plight of not only his children but also of the entire village and the other needs of the village, like yes, we should have been there, yes, we should be helping. That kind of thing. You know, don't focus just on the fantastical elements of the story. That might end up being able to reach him.
I sit down at the table across from him and say, look, man, I know where you're coming from. My people were ignored by our government. I grew up poor. My people were starving and no one cared. I understand that it sucks when the government doesn't help, especially when they're supposed to. But the fact is, we're here now. And we're going to do the best we can.
Do you really think that you can find my children?
I hope so, and I know that we'll try.
My father, he recently passed away. And these children were all that I had after their mother died. So much tragedy, and now I'm all alone. Please find them. How can I help?
Do they all disappear at the same time?
My children?
Yes.
Yes, they were taken by La Llorona.
The people in town say that you saw it happen. Can you describe to me what happened?
We were fishing in the river, and a large wave came. It was near the dusk. The large wave came. The river swelled up to 15 feet and crashed on my children, and when the wave receded, they were gone. And I hear a woman laughing.
And the wave was traveling downstream?
Yes, it went further south. But then, nothing. No trace of them at all. And it all happened very quick. But something inside me tells me that they are still alive. I must believe this.
I hope that you're right, and that's the assumption that we're moving on right.
But I'm sorry, that is all I can tell you. Everyone in this village seems to have lost someone, but not all of them had seen it like I did.
I glance up at Mateo to see if he has any questions.
He sort of has been really quiet since he walked into the house, sort of seeing the man's house and living situation and how much he loves his kids. And he's listening to the story. I don't really have any questions, but I think we should hurry and try to get more info.
All right.
May God be with you, if indeed there is a God. And he just shakes his fist again. I'm sorry, I'm not mad at you. Forgive me.
No need for forgiveness.
We'll do our best to return your kids. I promise that.
And he just kind of motions for the door for you to leave.
We do.
As you step outside, you can hear him start to cry. He wanted to wait until you were gone, but he's now starting to weep.
So, I heard him say Llorona guy again.
I described to Guishin basically what happened. So I think it's reasonable to assume that wherever La Llorona is taking them, it's south. Like, that seems to be just a common thread of all of these. I would like to still talk to Accela, just because in my experience, people described as crazy are often variants or perceptive, so...
Sounds good to me. Let's go.
Accela lives in a very small, almost more of a shanty more than a house, but behind the town, off of the main street. In the poorer part of the poor area.
Mateo, why don't you take the lead on this one? It seems like she's hit some hard times. You might be able to empathize with that in this area.
Let me try. And so we get to the door, and I knock on the door, and
the door bursts open, and there is this woman. She's carrying a crucifix, and she's like waving it in your face as if you're going to, do something to her. Her eyes are just cold. You can tell by the way she's holding the crucifix. You can tell her hands are calloused, kind of suggesting that she might have done a lot of manual labor. And she just looks just awake. If she was in the big city, you would assume that she has had too much coffee, but she is just wild-eyed, and throwing this crucifix up. Get out! I don't, you'll not take me!
And I sort of take a step back as she's like sort of throwing it in my face, and I go, no, wait. We're not here to take you anywhere. We're just here to try to help.
You can't help me! The demons are all around us!
What demons? Tell me about them.
The screaming woman! The child taker! La Llorona! She's here!
And we want to stop her. Tell us what we can do. How do we find her?
You don't find her! She will find you! You had better go to church. You had better find Lord Jesus. He will protect you. My children, they were evil children, and so the devil took them. The devil sent La Llorona to take the children, because they were evil and they did not mind their mother! And she waves her crucifix around.
And Mateo is not laughing. He just sort of shocked. He's sort of surprised at all of this going on.
She is obviously unbalanced. She is obviously not.
Yes.
Sometimes they're just not right in the head.
My instincts on this may have been wrong.
And I go, okay, thank you. And then I sort of look back at Indigo St. John, and I'm like, what have you done to me? Why?
It happens sometimes.
She threatens you. If you do not get out of her house, she will be forced to attack you.
I back away. I'm getting away from the door.
She will use her powers on you if you do not leave, she says. I will use my powers that the Lord give to me to fight you. Because you are the demons as well.
This is one of the places where bootleg would be very useful. Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, you leave her alone?
I look at the other two, though, and I say, as crazy as she was, she did say something interesting, which is that this La Llorona, she finds the people, and that's sort of what we've heard, right? We've already lost. Go ahead.
Make a perception check as you're on your way out of the house. Whoever wants to look.
I will.
That's all Guishin can do, but not very well.
Not much better.
Indigo, you do notice as you're being ushered out of the house, or even before you went into the house, behind her, there are cracked pictures on the walls, or even pictures that have fallen. They do seem to be of children.
Okay.
A girl and a boy, mostly, with that woman looking happy, looking smiling, church pictures, that sort of thing.
If you decide to stick with either the variants or come along with me after this is done, Mateo, you're going to find that trauma affects everybody differently.
Yes, I can see that. What I do want to do is I want to sort of bring up the point that she said that these people have been taken, that they and that we also have some friends who have been taken. So maybe some bait might draw her out. I'm just going to. I mean, we can go talk to the last person, but I think that might be a potential thing to do.
I'm not super comfortable with putting someone in danger like that. It's our only way. Yeah, I mean, it would be
and then
kind of
Mateo,
all of us getting caught to catch her.
Mateo looks at you and he goes, "I'm pretty good at hiding." And he kind of gives you a smile and says, "I wouldn't mind, being helping."
Well, let's set up a stakeout tonight at the river, and we can bait the hook with you if you want.
Okay.
Guishin, do you have any perceptive powers that might be of help here?
Not that I know of.
Okay. Well, let's just be ready for a fight if it comes to that.
Okay, that I can do. So it sounds like too that maybe this is some sort of I don't know, like it's always coming out of the water, right? And I mean, maybe it's like some sort of submarine or something.
It's certainly a possibility.
I don't know. How big is the river? Would the river fit like some sort of vehicle, submersible thing easily, or?
It does not look like it would be the kind of thing like a submarine would fit in, no. Maybe about 20 feet across at the areas that are near the village.
So maybe not a submarine, but, some sort of underwater swimmer person.
And we know whatever it is did some damage outside of the river too, so it might be a submersible ATV thing, or a variant that's fast or able to hide from bootleg's perception.
Oh, don't tell him that.
All right. So, are you committed to that plan, or you have other things that you want to do in the town?
I guess just to make sure, she generally comes in. You had a sense, like time of day that people disappear.
The only two people that you've talked to were these two people. Well, and Alejandra.
One of them said dusk. Yeah.
Yeah. Junior said he was with his children at dusk.
Okay.
Accela did not say one way or the other.
But that does match the previous nights.
Right. Yeah, you were there at dusk when that other woman's children were taken.
So at least we have plenty of time to go talk to Talley if we want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea. Let's head that way.
Okay. Talley lives in a maybe like the best part of town, in that her house is well kept. It doesn't seem to have any obvious like disrepair. The flowers are growing quite well. Everything's just well taken care of.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to take this one?
Yeah, keep throwing Mateo in there.
No, I think you did a better job.
make the street urchin just keep being the face of the operation.
Oh, we could send up Guishin. Just
let's try that one. Let's try that.
Tacos?
No.
And he sort of laughs, but he sort of nudges Indigo a little bit. Is like, can you try this one?
Indigo goes, knocks on the door.
There's a woman who answers. Her eyes are very inviting. She is quite beautiful, actually, and she looks fairly young herself for someone in this village. But she says, "Yes. How can I help you?"
We'd like to speak to Talley.
I'm Talley.
We've heard from some of the other people in the village that you saw one of the children who disappeared with La Llorona.
Ah, yes, my children. My children were taken by La Llorona.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Did you witness when they disappeared?
I did. I saw the whole thing. La Llorona was terrifying. The wailing woman, she was disturbing. She said she was coming for my children, just like the stories.
She spoke to you?
Yes. Do you know the stories of La Llorona?
I don't.
Please come in. And she invites you all in.
I walk in.
I explained to her that our friend here doesn't speak Spanish, and I will just begin acting as a translator.
Okay. You sit down at a table, and she begins. She says, when I was a child, I was told the tales of La Llorona. She was married, a very beautiful woman. She was married to a very handsome man, but this man was too much of a lover, and he took other women, and this enraged La Llorona, and she got so jealous that she decided to take revenge against him. She killed her own children, and then was cursed. She killed herself as well, but she was denied access into heaven because she had done this, and she would not be able to find peace until she found the bodies of her own children. And so now, every time she sees a child, she steals them to see if it maybe is her child, so that she can finally leave this world. And now she has taken my children and the other children of this village.
When you saw her, what did she look like?
Terribly ugly. Very, very disgusting. She had tentacles like octopus, and her hair was full of leaves and mud, and she had fangs and very terrible eyes.
And Mateo you see him sort of squint and start really thinking, because he's trying to remember all of the stories he's heard as a kid, and he's never heard of her looking like that. But he doesn't say
We got thought bubbles from Mateo. That's good. But what is your interest in La Llorona or these children? You are not from here, except for you.
Yes, they are trying to stop all of the disappearances. Apparently, it's not just in this town, but in towns nearby as well. We're just trying to find out how to stop this.
Ah, she looks at you. I can tell that you are strong people. You can definitely stop this. I believe in you.
I'm
Can you
glad someone does.
Can you describe to us the attack? Just the sequence of events that happened when La Llorona appeared, spoke to you, and left with your children.
She did not leave with my children. She killed my children in front of me. And she left the bodies in the river.
I'm sorry, we weren't told that. Could you... I hate to ask you to revisit this, but could you describe what happened as best you can?
Yes, I was walking with my children. We were having lunch outside of the river, and then all of a sudden, the sky turned dark, and lightning flashed all around. And then the monster La Llorona came and attacked my children and took them down into the river. And I yelled for help, but no one believed me. They thought I had killed my own children, and it wasn't until later, when the other children began disappearing, that they realized the truth, that La Llorona was killing the children. But please,
Very sorry.
But please, this is too much for me to talk about anymore. Even though it was a year ago today, or not today, but a year ago, it's still very fresh in my mind. So please just leave me be.
As they're talking and she's telling her story, and then gets to the end, Guishin's kind of looking around and see if there's any like photographs or pictures, maybe of her family. Looking for, and specifically, he's looking for any pictures of men.
Go ahead and roll perception. I mean, I'll give you obviously what you see around, but looking around, you do not see any pictures of. There's no pictures of any children. There's no religious iconography like you saw, at least of a little bit in each of the other houses. There is a picture of a man. I would say probably if she's 29, or so, then this guy would probably be maybe 35 or 36 or something like that. Dressed up, obviously like for some sort of ceremony, like a wedding or like a baptism or something like that. But that's like really the only person in any of the pictures. There's like nature pictures all around, but that's the only person in any picture, and that's kind of in the hallway. It's not very front and center.
Okay.
Thank her for her time and head out.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are away from the house a little bit, that smell wrong to you?
Something did, yes.
I mean, I if she did kill her kids, I mean, then she maybe told her own life story with the Rona story.
Could be. And if she killed her kids and that was the beginning of the disappearances, that's a coincidence I can't overlook.
I think maybe we should ask Alejandra about like the husband, maybe, or the dad, or wherever he might be.
Excellent idea. Let's head back to Alejandra.
Thanks.
All right, so you go back to Alejandra's house. And she asks you, have you had any luck in your investigation?
Maybe.
And Randy's judging me, by the way, for all of these terrible accents I'm doing.
It's no, I'm not. No, I'm not. So I look at her and I go, "Can you tell us a little bit more about this Talley woman?"
She gets a look on her face. It's very sad. She's like, "Oh, she was the first. It was so horrible. Everyone thought that she had killed her own children, but we were so wrong."
Is there a reason why people would think that?
She
sort of that type.
She sort of demurs a little bit, and she says, "Well, it's best not to gossip after what happened to her. It would not be Christian."
Mateo sees sort of her reacting that way, and he tries to sort of reposition himself and try to seem less sort of pushy about it. But he says, "But what if it is the key to trying to find these kids? I know it may not seem nice to talk about it, but any information you can tell us about her would be really appreciated."
Go ahead and roll a persuasion. She does not want to divulge this information, so I'm going to set this at a 15. Is that a 19?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So she says, well, since you are trying to help, everyone knows, she was the most beautiful girl this village has ever seen. And then there was a man who came from San Salvador. He was a mariachi, very handsome, very popular. He made many dollars, and they fell in love. But he, and she gets really uncomfortable. He was.
Let me guess. He was unfaithful.
Yes. And the more he was out, the more he did not pay attention to her. She began to take this out on the children. And she kind of crosses herself. Please forgive me for gossiping.
No.
But
No.
Yes, we had all noticed that she began to resent having the children while Sebastian was out doing what he did.
And what happened to this Sebastian?
No one has seen or heard from him since, for about a year now. Oh, since about the children died, I suppose. Which may be why we thought, maybe thought that Talley had killed her children, but that is not true. It's
yes.
La Llorona clearly is the one who is killing the children.
Thank you for being so forthcoming. Can I speak to my friends a bit outside? I think.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
And I look at Indigo and I'm like, yeah, super suspect.
Yeah. She certainly could have been a variant. This could be her making the other fear, but...
Can we ask Bootleg wherever he is? Oh, wait, we don't know where he is.
Yeah, we don't know where he is, yeah.
Yeah, you can't ask Bootleg because he's disappeared.
All right, so I think I have an idea of how we can get into her house. If could you try to knock on the door one more time? Ask her to come outside just a little, for like a few minutes.
Dahlia's door.
Yeah.
Sure.
She answers the door. Oh, hello. Again, what can I do for you?
Could you come outside? I wanted to show you something. It's just out here on the street.
Okay.
I'm gonna use my power.
It's a sweet bike.
And your power is?
To go invisible. That is what I do. I have sort of 3 different variants of that, but
3
what I'm
different
going to do
variants.
here-
Ha
I have 3 different ways I can do that.
Okay.
I think we lost your.
Stealth check of 28. Her passive perception is much lower than that, so you've got 3 levels of success on her. So you can pretty much get away with whatever you want to do.
I'm going to go into the house while they're talking. Yes.
Okay. So you're inside the house. They are. She doesn't suspect anything. Making small talk, I suppose. Why don't the guys outside make me a persuasion check? See how long they can keep her talking, and then for each hit above 15, I'll give you another minute.
Yeah, I'm going to try and kind of vamp about constellations, like say this might have something to do with... I need some reason for her to be outside, and there's nothing out on the street, so that's what I'm going with.
All right, so go ahead and give me that persuasion check. Whoa. Yeah, Guixin, you have nothing to say to her. She's completely uninterested. But it looks like Indigo has bought you at least 1 minute. So, Chameleon, get to do your thing.
I'm going to search. So I sneak into the house, but once I'm in there, I'm going to start looking around for. I'm gonna hit the little heat, like the thermal vision, and see if there's anything else in the house that's sort of pink.
With heat vision, okay, just go ahead and make me a perception check, and we'll see. See what you see with your normal vision first.
All right. Okay. Oh, nothing.
No, not just nothing. That is a natural 1. That is a
Yep.
failure.
That is a big failure.
A critical miss. So I'm gonna say that you're looking around, and you stumble into her bedroom.
Yeah.
But you trip over yourself and you make a sort of large crash, and she runs in. But you're still invisible, right?
Yes, I am. I stop moving as soon as she walks in.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna make. I'm gonna pull her. Oh, I don't want everybody to see this. I don't know how I can. I'll try to make a perception check here. Did it work?
Yeah.
You rolled an 18.
Okay, and so go ahead and use your stealth check again, and we'll see who wins.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so she's looking around actively, and she's actually pretty good, but you just stand still and are just not moving at all, and you've got your eyes closed, so you're totally invisible. And
but I can't do very much when I'm like that. So yeah.
So she is obviously quite suspicious, and all of a sudden she runs back out to the front and says, "Where's your friend? Where is your El Salvadoran friend? I do not see him."
I'm gonna start moving through the house as quickly as I can, trying to find something. I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
She just ran back outside.
Well, she's gonna run back in unless these guys can keep her. She's gone back up to a 20 now, difficulty rating. So unless you guys can persuade above a 20, she's gonna run back in the house, and it's gonna be really awkward for Chameleon.
Just quick question: did she see Chameleon before he went invisible?
No.
Does she? He's with us at all?
No, but he was with you earlier when you went inside the house.
Right.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I tell her that Mateo is back at our ship, And whatever you heard, I mean, perhaps it's La Llorona. You said it was a year ago. Perhaps she has come back. We should go in and investigate.
All right, make that persuasion check. Need a 20 or higher, or else she's running back in.
Yeah, I guess let's just roll it and see what happens.
I will remind you, you could use a hero point if you really want to keep her out there. Everybody starts with 1 hero point. All right. She is not having it, and she runs back in and finds Chameleon as he's running around the house. And she's, "Get out of my house! You are disrespecting me and my children! Get out of my house, you filthy urchin!"
While she's freaking out like that, I'm going to keep a close eye on her just to see if there's any sign of power manifestation.
Yeah, I'm going to start backing up and being like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she's probably like hitting me in the head with something that she picked up or something.
Okay, we're going to say, make a perception check if you're watching her.
Nice job, Guishin.
Guishin, you're the first to notice that her arms turn into water flails right before she attacks you. And we are going to take a 5-minute break right there. And we come back, we are going to have a battle. So we'll see you in about 5 minutes, everyone.
Yay! I'm really confused at.
Okay, I think we were been playing the whole time without sound. Is that better, chat? Can you hear us now? Let's wait just 1 second to make sure that we got the sound back on. All right, chat. Tell us if there's chat now. If there's sound now. Okay, good. We have sound now.
Yay!
Okay, so thank you for letting us know that, chat. That happens once in a while. But basically, what's happened is we rolled for initiative, and Llorona is attacking. She hit Chameleon, and now Chameleon is rolling his defense. So my effect was 27, and he is now rolling. He rolled a 9, so we're gonna go over here. Figure that's it. Yes. So you roll your. It's D20 plus 9, so you got a 29 versus 27. So you didn't take any damage from that. Good for you.
Good. Scary.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's not a D20. I got that wrong.
No, I rolled a D20, yeah.
What is your toughness?
My toughness is 6.
So it's 9 plus 6. So it's 15. That's
okay.
So it's
That's still not great, but yeah.
No. Well, it's not. No. It's still 12. That's still 3 levels of success. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. What's up? Wait, what?
Ouch.
Oh, just saying. Wait.
Oh, yeah. So basically, like 0 through 5 would be 1, 6 to 10 would be another, and then 12 would make it 3. So you are now staggered, which means that you are dazed, meaning that you can only take 1 standard action. Your movement is halved, and then for every damage you take from now on, you're at a -1 to that roll.
Okay.
So she just absolutely tweaked you.
Clobbered me.
You're not knocked out, but she did a number on you. Next up is Indigo.
Okay, so Indigo's going to spring into. They're going to run into the house. They're kind of going to split up a bit and kind of jump on either side of the door frame, and then come in for a trip attack.
Okay.
And it's a close attack versus parry. Sorry, I'm relatively new to this system. So a 21 versus her parry.
All right. Her parry is actually not very good. It's only 6, so you definitely hit.
Okay, and then she has to make a my choice acrobatics or athletics. I'm going to guess she's worse at athletics, or go prone.
Okay. Unfortunately, even though you hit her, it doesn't seem to damage her. Her body just kind of becomes water, and your attack passes right through her.
And it doesn't trip her?
Not at all.
Okay.
Like her legs seem to just flow around your attack.
If I can, I'm still going to position myself between her and the tank.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely, you can do that. Next up is Guishin.
Okay, well, it's time to blast this lady, probably maybe through the window on the far end of the building. I did see that the trip attack didn't seem to work. Probably that she turned into water, but I'm hoping that maybe, maybe the way that my ability interacts with stuff will be effective. But we'll find out in just a moment. Here we go. All right.
Definitely hit. Yeah. So you hit her square wherever you were aiming for.
All right. So the damage on that is 10. So 25 is the damage that she has to be tough against.
Okay. And she resists it easily.
Wow.
It does seem to affect her. Like it's not like she kind of watered around it, but she just kind of toughed it out. Next up is Chameleon.
All right. So, so I'm really scared because, you know, I don't feel like she got me pretty good. And I'm taking a -1 to stuff, right?
No, not everything. Just to your damage rolls.
Oh, then I'm going invisible, and I'm gonna try to.
I used my power to hide.
So what I'm gonna do is I have 3 of them, and what I'm gonna do is what's called Let me see which one would be best. So basically, if he's not focused really, really hard, it's kind of obvious where he is. He has one that is sort of I need to roll higher than a DC 12 on this, which I'm hoping I get. That's sort of it.
So what's the power?
So this one's called sort of his quick stealth. It's the one he uses to try to like get out of places.
Oh, so she needs to roll to be able to see you. She needs to roll a 12. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And I'm gonna roll as well for that.
Well, I think he needs to roll.
I need to roll.
12.
Oh, he needs to roll a 12 in order for it to...
Yeah,
all right, gotcha.
Sorry, yeah. So, let me do...
Yeah, man, you totally got it. That's 2 extra levels of success.
Yeah, so I'm like completely invisible and can do this, but after this, I get really tired. So I'm going to, I don't have movement, do I? I know it's a minus. But
no, you could.
I only have 1 standard, right?
Yeah, you can only do a standard.
Move a little bit?
No, you can't move at all because you use your.
Right.
If you wanted to, you could have moved instead of using your standard, but.
Right. So I just disappear and she doesn't know where I am. Maybe.
Yeah. All right, so it's her turn again, and because you went invisible, and because she didn't perceive you as a threat, and because Guixin attacked her, and maybe even presented a threat, she is going to go after Guixin instead with a water whip.
So I am trying to understand the deflect portion of the ability here.
Okay.
So it says something about defend action as opposed to, I'm not, I don't know if it's like, is this a reaction that I can do, or is this...
Read the power.
So actively defend for characters other than yourself, so I can't use it.
If you were to take your turn to say, I'm defending...
It does say may be able to more effectively defend yourself.
Yeah.
But it would be... So it would be my action would have to be an active defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In other words, since you didn't do that already, you can't do it now, unless that power has like the reaction quality.
Okay. There's a reaction quality.
Like you could upgrade that power. Say you get a hero point or a power point at the end, you can upgrade it to be able to use a hero point or extra effort to use it as a reaction.
Okay, so my dodge total is 10, so that probably hits. Is that a hit then?
Yes, definitely hits. And then you are going to roll your toughness and a d20, and you're going to have to resist a DC 27.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, but here we go. 16.
Well, that was better than Guixin did, but still, that's still 3 levels of failure. And so you are now staggered, which means that you can only take 1 standard action. You can move at half of your speed, and you take a -1 penalty to any further damage checks. Ouch! Next up is Indigo.
This is not going well.
No, you guys are getting smoked.
Shoot, it's an action to split up. Yeah, I'm going to... Let's see, can I pick up both Mateo and Guixin?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know what the stats translates to. At the moment, I have a strength of 5. So
Yeah,
effectively
you could probably pick them up.
Okay. I am going to kind of try and drag them out of the house and like just get some cover between us and her.
Okay, so you spend your standard and your move action to. Well, do you split apart, or you just grab them without splitting?
No, I'm stronger without splitting, so I'm gonna grab one by each hand and go.
Well, you
Also,
can't grab Chameleon because he's invisible.
I'm invisible.
Oh, right. Okay. In that case, I just grab Guishin and run around the corner of the house.
Okay. So you grab Guishin, run out of the house, and there you go. What is Chameleon doing?
I don't know. You can't teleport.
Oh, Guishin, I guess it's your turn.
She also doesn't know that I can't teleport.
Right. Guishin, it's your turn. You've been dragged out of the house.
So for my turn, what I'm going to I'm dragged out of the house. I'm going to.
You weren't down, so I guess I can kind of just shoulder carry you. I'm
Right,
pulling you
so- So I don't really want to go back in on that, and so I'm gonna go ahead and ready my defensive action, and in case she chases us. But other than that, I'm just kind of like, what do we do? Because
I think you're the only one who can hurt her, so if we have to,
you cut out there.
I think you're the only one who can hurt her, so if we have to stand and set her up for you.
Okay, how are we gonna do that?
It is your turn, Guishin. So unless are you just gonna talk?
No, I use my action to be ready to defend.
Okay,
So that
gotcha.
was my action.
Perfect.
So,
All right, Chameleon.
I'm going to wait and see what she does. Because I'm not gonna. I only have either move, like run away or something, which is what I want to do. But I don't want to run in. Like, I don't want her to. Yeah. I'm trying to get away. That's my goal. I want to wait for an opportunity to like run out of a window.
Okay. She bolts outside after Indigo
Out the
and
window.
Guishin, and she waves her watery arms around and slings them around both of your necks. And the
I'm
water
going to try to deflect that first, right? That's because I'm actively defending, so I'm
Sure.
doing this time what I wanted to do last time.
Yeah, are you deflecting the attack from yourself or from Indigo?
Well, probably from myself first.
Okay.
So that's,
I'm gonna roll. She is trying to wrap water around your head and suffocate you. So 22. Does that hit your dodge, Indigo? Push to talk.
Sorry, it's my dodge plus 15. That's how it works.
yes.
Okay, in that case, no, it's 28.
Alrighty. And Guishin, you were going to do what?
So I'm doing this deflect. So I assume the system's the same, but I'm trying to beat her number. So.
No, it's only plus 10, by the way, for when you're defending. It's
Still
plus.
puts me at 23, so just outside her.
Okay, you still missed, but yeah, it's plus 10 when you're actually rolling to hit, and it's plus 15 when you're resisting damage.
Okay. So she's got to beat a 25, I guess, to have for her attack to not.
No, so she tries to wrap her watery appendage around your face, and you just blast it with quantum energy, and it dissolves her arm.
Yes. Dissolves her arm. Ah, got it.
Thankfully,
then-
it's made of water, so it just comes right back.
Right. So that was her. So then that's her. That's her action. Okay, great.
Yeah. And now it's Indigo's.
Gosh, I don't want to be the first one to run. So I guess I am going to.
You're not. Someone already did.
I'm going to go up and use feint on her, and then using one of my advantages, pass the advantage of feinting onto Guishin.
Okay.
And so that is a deception check versus the better of her deception or intuition.
Versus the better of her intuition or what?
Deception.
Is it insight or intuition?
Oh, I'm sorry, insight. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Too many games.
She got a 23.
All right. I've done nothing useful for you, Guishin. Have fun.
She sees your fate coming, and she's ready for it. Next up is Guishin.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take flight. So now I'm going to be hovering over the ground, probably maybe about 20 feet above the ground.
Okay.
And I am going to attempt another rocket blast. Except not rockets.
You cannot, because you are dazed. So you could either take a move action or an attack.
Ah, okay. Okay. So that's what happens at that level. Okay. So well then in that case I'm going to fly back as well to try to like maybe put some distance between myself and her.
Okay.
Probably not enough, but hopefully.
Okay. It does seem to be enough. She's flailing at you wildly. But Chameleon, it's your turn in the meantime.
I'm going to... So, did I make it out the window? Or whatever I was trying to do last turn?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to climb on the side of the building and get to the roof. And that's my movement. And that's my action. Because I'm still...
So you're on the roof. Up on the roof. And La Llorona is now upset because she can't get to Guishin. And so she's going to attack Indigo instead.
This is going to go poorly for me.
She's going to attempt to suffocate again. With a 20. Oh, she's not very good at this. It's an AoE, so normally she could get everybody she wants to, but it's not very good at single target. So anyway, what was your dodge?
23.
Oh, crud. All right, she's going to she's going to stay kind of by the door of her house, in case maybe she needs to go back in. She's kind of got her back up against the door. But it is Indigo's turn.
Okay. Like we're in like a row of houses.
Yes. I mean, like the houses have some distance in between them. It's not like they're, track houses like bunched up against each other. But yeah.
I am going to sprint away in the shortest route possible to get something between her line of sight and me.
Okay. Yeah. There's plenty of stuff. I mean, like there's trees, there's other houses, there's all that kind of stuff. So.
Sure.
By the way, when you're looking at her visage has completely changed. She no longer resembles the beautiful woman that you were talking to earlier. She is now basically completely made of water, and is construing herself to look as imposing and menacing and evil as possible. Every bit the La Llorona of legend. And it is Guishin's turn.
Well, I'm mad, and I'm going to, this time, attempt to blast her.
Okay.
With my ability. Here we go. Let's see here. Ooh, I'm going to re-roll that, I think.
Yeah, use your hero point?
No, lucky.
Oh, okay.
Wow, is that really that I'm rolling that? Okay, so that's a 23. Against her dodge.
22 is her dodge, so yeah, good job.
All right, so that hits the DC then. So she's got 25, I think, is my damage. She's got a
30, looks like. So she's got to resist with her toughness. Looks like you got at least one level of failure. So she has a -1 to all of her future damage resistance, which is not bad. You're gonna need that.
Yes.
Next up is Chameleon.
All right. I want to sort of move over to the part of the roof where I can see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And use a hero point to do. Can I do that? Can I use another? I know I'm like crazy tired. I don't. I feel like I want to do something cool. And like use and like hit her. With,
All right.
Yeah. So I'm gonna use my hero point for the match and do reptilian spit attack.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I gotta roll that. So I'm. Excuse me. I'm trying to figure out how this attack. I'm not quite sure how to roll this. So.
So this is an affliction. So you roll it, but it does different damage, right? Depending on the degrees of success, you do those things that are associated with it, right? So your result is 15. So that was a pretty bad roll. So you spit on her. So unless you use a hero point, you're going to miss. And you had your push to talk was off.
I said no. I use my hero point to try to do that. So no.
Okay.
Nothing.
Or you can only use that with a hero point? Is it limited that way?
Well, no. I was like I'm weak. Remember, I'm like stunned or not stunned.
Staggered?
I'm.
Yeah,
staggered,
but you had already gotten up to the top of the house, right? This would be your standard
yeah.
action.
I had already gotten up there. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that. Why not? Let's.
25. That's better.
Yes.
That will actually hit her, and now she will try to resist it. Now, with afflictions like this, it's not versus 15; it's just versus 10. But depending on the degree,
Actually, but for me, it says. Sorry, I'll show you. For me, it's actually resisted by Fortitude DC 20. I don't know why that. I probably need to fix that macro.
oh no, it's fine. That's good. That's convenient.
Yeah.
All right, so she's gonna roll her fortitude.
Yeah. DC
24. So she made it. Sorry, man.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I tried to stop her, you guys.
But I'd be interesting to see what acid spit would do to the water lady. Like, would it just affect her? In fact, I'm gonna say that she's weak to that, and give you a circumstance bonus of 5. So I'm gonna say she does get affected by that, and so she now is dazed.
Thank God.
All right.
I don't want you to waste that. You guys are gonna feel super. But it's her turn now, and now that she sees you, are you still in your invisible form?
No, I'm not.
Right. All right. So Indigo's not posing any threat, and Guishin's too high up, so she's gonna turn her attention to you and unleash hell with a water whip. Actually, no. She's gonna do suffocate on both you and Two Spirit. 19. You guys are gonna have to use your dodge. What's your dodge?
23.
All right, so Mrs. Indigo.
I'm very dodgy.
Chameleon, what's your dodge?
Yeah, I'm going back to that page. My dodge is it's a 9 plus 15, so
Plus 10, 19.
19. Sorry.
19. Oh, I just hit. Excellent. So then
I'm
you're
knocked
gonna
out probably, yeah.
no, this is actually a suffocate. So you're gonna have to resist versus DC 20. So go ahead and roll your fortitude.
All right.
So DC 20 plus whatever your fortitude score is.
One second.
Yep.
Trying to roll it. And
If you have
it's
your
not
character
rolling
sheet,
for-
you could just push the fortitude button and it'll roll it for you.
I did earlier. Yeah.
Ooh-wee!
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
So is that 20 plus your fortitude? Because it doesn't look like it.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's just giving me the four that I have there, and then it rolled a 9.
Rolled a 9. So whatever bonus.
So what's your
it's
fortitude?
13 plus.
My fortitude is 4.
Okay, so it's
Fortitude is 4.
Well, that is right then. Okay, so you got 13.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so you got 2 levels, so now you are defenseless and immobilized. Defenseless means that you have 0 active defenses. Yeah, you're pretty
goes
bad.
down.
And you cannot move at all. You can take actions, but yeah, you're pretty bad. If she attacks you again, you're pretty hosed.
Yeah. So he falls out on the roof. He's just like, boom.
And now it's Indigo. And by the way, you are going to choke pretty soon because she's got the suffocate on you. Actually, defenseless means you're basically knocked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's choked you out. You're knocked out.
Okay. So
On the
does
roof.
Indigo-
There's a chameleon on the roof now, and he's
Yes.
we killed it. Killed it with water.
Indigo's gonna sigh, run, see if he can. They can roof and grab Chameleon.
Okay. I'm just gonna.
So am
I'm
I
gonna-
able to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you can. Sure.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna straight fall off the roof and take whatever damage it takes just to get me on the other side of the house from her, like holding him.
Okay. Go ahead and just give me a toughness resistance check. I'm gonna call that a 10 for falling off the roof. Shouldn't be
12.
Shouldn't be too tough. Yeah. So you're trained for this kind of stuff. You're okay. You fall off the small roof, and that's it. And now it is Guishin.
Okay, so help me out with this hero point recover thing. So if I can use a hero point to recover
Yes.
immediately removed a dazed, fatigued, or stunned condition.
With no action, you can remove a dazed, fatigued, or stunned. Yeah.
So I use that, and then I'm no longer. So then I get all my actions back and stuff.
Yeah, now you can move and all that kind of stuff, right? So your
Okay.
daze is removed. Yeah.
I'm going to use that hero point to recover because I see that things are not going well, and that I somehow am the only one who seems to be able to actually hurt her.
Can I spend a hero point here to have her be distracted by Chameleon and have her be a little bit less dodgy or less resistant to his attack?
Maybe not less resistant, but maybe you could create something that would
Sort of narrate she has kind of presented her back to Guishin, sort of forgetting that he was there for a moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually say you use your hero point. I'm gonna say that you notice something. You notice something in the window as you were falling, and it is a box that seemed to have a lock on it, and it seemed pretty important to you, and it just oddly caught your eye as you were falling. In perhaps a destiny kind of way.
All right.
And then it is Llorona's turn. No, wait, Guishin, what were you doing?
Guishin. It's still my turn the
Yeah.
whole time. So I am going to. So now I've used my hero points, and I'm going to get in closer, and I am going to use my blast to I'm just trying to like take her down a notch really hard here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go roll that. Wow. I'm gonna use another point here to re-roll that. That's really. I don't even think that's a legitimate roll. Oh, I guess I have a effect or something. Holy cow! Wow. All right. So
what is your what's your attack bonus?
my attack bonus is I want to say that it's 10. So I don't even know how I'm rolling a 17.
You would roll a 7 on the dice, but if you just...
no, I rolled a 7 on the die. I thought I rolled.
So if your attack bonus is 10 and you just rolled another 10, if it's less than 11, then you get to add 10 to that. So it would be an attack of 30.
Okay, so that's a hit. All right, so so that's a hit then. So she's got to do her toughness against that.
All right, that's 3 levels of success.
That is great for us.
You punched her pretty hard at that one, yeah.
And now that I've flown in closer and I got her with my attack, I am going to bust out with a quick spin in midair and probably dab it once.
All right.
And just like trying to get her attention, like here I am, so that the other two can make their escape.
After that, she retreats back into the house. And it is Indigo's turn.
I use a spear to break the window and pull. Is the box small?
It is probably about the size of a bread box.
All right, so I use the spear to break the window and pull it out. And then I ask Chameleon if he can run.
I am knocked out, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to ask me, no. and you see my face, and I'm just like.
Okay, so shoot. Yeah, I'll just start running and dragging Chameleon, I guess.
All right.
Hey, run away!
You run and drag Chameleon. Where are you dragging him to?
I'm actually gonna shoulder check my way into a nearby house door and just hunker down and apologize to whoever owns the house.
Okay. After waiting a couple seconds, you don't see anything. You don't hear anything. There's no more attacks coming at you. Action seems to have ended. She disappeared inside the house and hasn't come back out.
All right. Okay. I'm going to take a position.
So I'm going to say initiative is over right now. We're not in combat mode right now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to take a position above the house so that I can see it. And I'm going to relay that information to Indigo, and then make sure that he also lets people know that I'm not the bad thing.
Okay.
And so I will carry Chameleon. I'm gonna take Chameleon back to the ship. I'm assuming we have some medical supplies there or something like that.
Please, yes.
Yeah.
Also, you if you look down at him and you see where he got hurt, there might be a cut. You see it very slowly starting to stitch itself together.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah, and just to do that, I'll split into two and carry him by his arms and his legs.
Okay.
Not wrap him on the ground anymore.
Right on. All right. So you have this house. You got Chameleon back to the ship. Guishin, what are you up to?
just making sure she doesn't leave. Hopefully she doesn't like turn into a trickle of water that trickles away somehow. But other than that, yeah, I'm just situated like above the house, just kind of in a way that as I slowly spin, I can see, the streets around the house.
Okay.
So
So
watch
Two
for her
Spirit
to
and
escape.
Chameleon are gone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
As soon as we can be.
All right. Guishin, go ahead and roll initiative again.
Okie dokie.
Is that a 25?
It is, yes.
All right. So as you're making one of their closer passes,
Well, I'm not moving. I'm straight up above the house, and all I'm doing is spinning in a circle. So
how far above the house are you?
However far enough I need to be able to see around the house, like if she leaves, without being so far that I wouldn't see anything. So maybe 100 feet.
Okay. Let me get the La Llorona fight music going on again.
Uh-oh.
Because out of nowhere, a water whip, one real thin, fine whip of water just lashes out from the chimney and just smacks you, or is going to try.
Oh man, that's not nice.
Knowing that you are by yourself.
Okay, you
22.
see how-
So that is not a hit.
Well, then I'm going to use my hero points that the chat keeps generously giving me. Whoop-pow!
Oh no!
Wait, I just rolled initiative again. That was anticlimactic. 22, but let's see, what's my attack roll? My attack roll is plus 12, so that would be plus 10. So give me a 32. Does that hit?
That hits indeed.
Resist DC 27 with your toughness, please.
All right, I am going to resist the DC 27 my toughness, but before we go any further, it is that plus 8 because I am flying. 28.
You get a better toughness when you're flying?
Yes, I have a force field.
Fancy.
Yes.
Oh wow!
That's why I can't use my cell phone when I'm flying.
All right, Guishin, it's your turn.
Okay, well, I don't want that to happen again, and I assume that she's not in the chimney itself. But somehow
yeah.
that was a path for her to attack me somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm going to smash her chimney.
So-
I don't know that I need to roll for that. But I don't know
Sure,
if
because
I-
you could totally fail. So just go ahead and make a roll.
Okay, hold on one second.
Oh yeah, the chimney's gone. The chimney
Yes.
explodes
and
into
also,
pieces.
since I can move and act, I'm going to go to 150 feet.
Okay. On her turn, you see water flowing out the windows of the house, and it kind of congeals above, and she uses basically like the water that's coming to shoot herself up into hand-to-hand combat with you. So she's basically launched herself up and just started whipping you with watery vines.
Eesh. Okay.
I don't think a 19 would hit, right? You said no.
19 does not hit.
Well, why? What are hero points for? How about a 31?
A 31 is going to hit.
Smack.
Lady. All
Resist
right.
that DC 27.
I tried to be nice.
You guys keep trying to help
Oh!
Opti. Look what he's doing to us.
Oh! That's 3
One.
levels. You are back to...
No.
What?
One.
Oh, you're flying. I forgot.
Flying. Only one.
What's your total toughness when you're flying?
Right now it's 10. It should not be 10, but I'm not going to change it right now. I didn't. My understanding of fortitude and toughness were not
Because I
complete.
feel like between your very high dodge and your very high toughness, you might be shooting past the thing there. That's what I was asking. So
but is not the force field enable you to go beyond that? Like
No.
you can't have a.
It does
No.
not. Mm-mm.
That's weird. What a weird thing.
Yeah.
Because that would definitely bring it past. But yeah. So I mean, in that case, I can't have a force field.
Like there are certain circumstances that can allow you to push past it. But in general terms, if it's something that is
no. My dodge plus toughness plus force field is 20. That's within our range.
20 is the max. Yeah.
Your dodge is what?
Plus toughness plus force field. My dodge is 10 total.
10. Okay.
Toughness is 2, and my force field is 8.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Then you only take. What did you say?
Level.
Was it 1 level?
Yes, the 1 level.
16 plus 8. I'm bad with the maths.
It's
24. Yeah, so 3.
No,
so yes, you take 1.
yes.
You're taking a -1 to all your damage.
Okay, so -1 to my damage, but you know what? She's about to get it, so. All right, so I'm going to attempt the blast again.
Okay.
Here we go.
No go, sir.
Well, I have another one of these points.
How are you stacking up all these hero points?
They're not hero points. It's my lucky. I get to re-roll.
Oh, man, that's a cool power.
It's an advantage. 24.
Why 24?
You said I'm adding 10?
Because I thought you were using hero points. But if you're just
okay.
re-rolling, then no, you don't get to do that.
Well, then I'm re-rolling again.
How do you get to re-roll again? How many did you get to
What
keep?
is going on? What is this, just 12, 14, 16?
How many times do you get to re-roll with your lucky?
I've got one more, because it's 1 for every point you put in it. That's 5 points. I've used it 4 times now.
And then, is it like per session or per fight or what?
I guess per session?
Okay, well,
It
burn them
says,
all then.
Luck works like hero points, according to somebody in our chat.
All right, well, good. Waste them all.
Well, I mean, are they trying to say that if a hero point gives me, I can if I roll less on a hero point
Per session, he says. Okay, yeah, so basically like hero points. All right, cool.
Okay, all right. So let me go. I got one more, so I might. There's no reason not to. So here we go.
That'll hit.
That's the hit. All right. So now
He's really lucky, you guys.
Right? Guishin is saving the day here single-handedly because he's such a lucky guy.
Yeah,
Quantum luck.
it. I've used quantum. Yes, that's what it is. That's where it
Manipulating potential outcomes. I love it. All right.
Yes.
DC 30. Let's do this. Come on, La Llorona. Bam! Ha-ha! I resist you with the power of dead children. That was gruesome. And now she's gonna lash back.
Oh, one second. So I think this is a movement power, and I haven't moved, so I'm to focus my concentration and become insubstantial, so her water will just go through me.
Oh, all right.
You're more wet than water.
When you're insubstantial, do you have to eat and drink and breathe?
It's the full level, so I don't know what that means, but probably yes. I do need to do those things.
Well, if you're insubstantial and she can't hit you, what is she gonna do? She is going to fly back in the house. It's your turn again.
Okay. Let's see. So she flies back into her house. She was in melee range of me, right? Do I get some sort of like reaction to do a...
If you were insubstantial, then no.
Why not?
Because you're
You're
insubstantial.
insubstantial.
It doesn't say I can't still shoot my beams.
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be on your turn.
But as a reaction, she's still leaving my threat range, right? No?
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Okay. Well, all right. So I'm going to, here's the thing. Okay, so I still have 2 points of luck. Thanks, chat. So yeah, I am going to basically maintain my position then, and I'm going to start. I guess. No, I guess I just wait. I mean, she's not coming after me, then I'm not going.
If you're gonna stay insubstantial, then she's not. Yeah.
Well,
Does she know he's insubstantial?
Well, I suppose that I mean, like, if he's got a ghosty form, right? Do you look insubstantial?
Probably there's probably a shift, that she's probably seen before in her time in this podunk village.
Why would she have seen that before?
Yeah, that was criticism. So snarky criticism, but no, we're good. I'm just gonna wait. I mean, I'm waiting. We're waiting her out. Eventually, other superheroes are going to come and help me with this. Sometime, maybe, eventually, one day.
Yeah. So.
So after about 30 seconds, you see the lifeless body of Bootleg hoisted on a bed of water lifting up above the house. And she says, you hear a icy voice say, "Give yourself up or I will kill him."
Okay, my response to that is no donde español, chica lady. But, but perhaps
right, I suppose you don't hear that in English. You hear that in Spanish.
We love the guy who can't communicate. Oh no.
So instead, what you see is Bootleg's body being slowly crushed by water.
Yeah, and like words, Spanish words. Okay. Well, I am going to. This is iffy, but I'm gonna just hope that he's tough enough to take it. I'm going to swoop down at a high rate of speed and try to grab Bootleg and just fly. I don't know how strong she is. I don't know how that equates with my speed of flight or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, I'm just gonna try to fly down and grab him and pull him away from her. Obviously, I have to leave my insubstantialness for that. It probably opens me up for attack, but that's. I mean, I don't want him to die.
So I'm gonna say that requires a. Well, unless you were using some kind of power to get rid of the water, that would be a strength test at 15.
Okay.
Well, which I guess would be 25. Yeah.
Ooh, there's no way I can do that. All right. Well. So I grab him and try to yank away, and it's just not happening. And then I let go and fly up, and am kind of trying to determine what my next move
Circumstance
is.
bonus because of how fast he can fly?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Give yourself +2.
Yeah. No. There's no way. He's not strong enough for that. So yeah, just kind of waiting, looking around, trying to think. And then, whoa, wait a minute. I'm going to blast. So she's holding him up with streams of water. Blast the streams of water out.
Okay.
And he falls to his grisly death below. But that's better than being crushed by the water. So that's what I'm going.
Don't kill Bootleg when he's not here.
I'm trying to save him. All right, so
Quickly realizes that you can't understand Spanish and brings him back inside the house.
okay, yeah, she's probably as frustrated as I am right now. She's like, I can't believe this. This is the stupidest reason for that. Not.
She truly tried to intimidate the one guy who can't understand her. That's hilarious.
Damn tourists.
So I guess that didn't work.
Within 2 minutes, the house collapses in on itself.
Oh snap! I totally didn't do that. But I am smiling and thinking, man, I'm just gonna have to remember to remind Bootleg all the time how my incompetence saved his life.
So yeah, the house collapses in on itself, and there's no way that she could just hang out there. There's no way that Bootleg could be alive in there, or anybody else.
So, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, wait a minute, was there indoor plumbing here?
You didn't notice. That wasn't one of the things that you paid attention to.
Indigo, is there indoor plumbing here?
You're not with Indigo.
No, but I can't communicate right now. Okay. So I'm going to land on a top of next, and then I'm going to ask Indigo if there's indoor plumbing.
And Indigo is going to use his push to talk to reply.
Sorry about that.
That's how communicators work.
Since I was looking for cover to hide behind, did I notice outhouses?
Since he stayed the night in a lady's house here, did he notice?
Are you asking about everybody's house or just hers?
If this neighborhood has indoor plumbing.
She lived in the nicer part of town, you guys. Just saying. Slash, I'm knocked out.
Alejandra had indoor plumbing.
Okay, so that.
So I say, yeah, of course, man.
I don't think Bootleg could fit through the indoor plumbing, though. Could he?
Maybe you killed him.
Actually, like out loud. What I mean to say is she's got Bootleg in the house that just fell down. I didn't do it.
Come back to the ship. We'll figure out what happened.
Okay. So with that, I'm going to leave and fly back to the ship. I hope she had to go in the toilet. That's how I feel right now about her.
Okay, so you meet back up. Chameleon, after about 30 minutes and some first aid from Two Spirit, you wake back up. You were deprived of oxygen, but it all happened pretty fast, and so
I also regenerate, so
yeah, exactly.
Some of that is in there. And I wake up and I go, oh, why does my head hurt so much?
Survived a fight with La Llorona.
And then
Guishin should be back soon.
I sort of try to sit up and I'm like, oh.
Guishin is back.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, but we all made it, right? That's good.
No.
Huh?
So I know where Bootleg and probably Takedown are, or were a minute ago. So she like raised him up like he was an offer, but I don't know that that's what she was doing because she said something in Espanol to me, and yeah.
So I guess we need to is there something to make the pain go away? Because this kind of hurts.
Here. He's gonna grab some sort of like morphine pain shot or something. and just
A senzu bean, if you will.
Yeah, your regeneration makes you feel better soon enough. Yeah.
Yes, I mean it's very slow, very like it's not Wolverine, you know.
No,
It's
right,
like-
but like you'd get over a headache pretty quick.
yeah.
well, quicker now with morphine.
Yes.
Okay, so Guishen tells you that the house collapsed and probably bootleg was under it.
we need to go back to the house and find out what if there. Well, we need to look if he was there. We need to look for a body, if nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's. Let's go back. I guess. I mean, she's not there anymore. She probably went down the sink.
Okay, so you head back to her house, which is now collapsed.
Yeah.
Oh no! I don't think I just saw that the costume also heals with me, and I look down and I'm surprised. I'm going, what is this?
Magic costume.
Quantum stitching. All right. So I'm gonna get there as fast as I can then, and just start trying to pull rubble away and blast rubble aside and push through. If there's I'm also taking time to maybe go insubstantial and kind of cruise through and see what I can see. It takes them a little while to think about that idea, but
Okay. Make a perception check. Anybody who's doing whatever, go ahead and tell me what you're doing.
I'm going to sort of try to move the things around and help with try to find any signs of where they might have gone.
Okay. And Two Spirit, what are you doing? Two Spirit, what you doing? Can Derek not hear me?
Uh-oh.
Aww.
Oh no!
All right, so I'm gonna assume that you're all looking around. Two Spirit remembers that he saw the box that he meant to go back and get, or did he get it? I don't remember if he got it.
I thought he grabbed it.
Maybe he grabbed it.
Yeah, I thought he broke the window with the spear. I do remember.
Oh, that's
that,
right.
so
He grabbed it earlier. Okay. But with your X-ray vision or your heat vision, you're able to see that there's something in the middle of the house that seems colder than the rest of the house. But Guishin, you don't see anything in particular. But also, you don't see any bodies. So that's good.
She somehow turned him into water and got him into the sink too. Oh wow, she's really powerful.
Yeah. But we found her.
Did we
All
though?
right.
She's not here, right?
So I would imagine that since she has these water abilities, that it would be some piping or a tunnel or something. So I want to check and see sort of where that is.
All right, where the cold was, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You clear the rubble from the middle of the house, and it's a trapdoor, essentially.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, super evil bad woman has a secret trapdoor.
Two Spirit, you didn't find anything with your perception, but you did remember that you had that box. That seemed important at the time.
When I got back to the ship, but I forgot about it. But yeah, let's take a look in the box now.
Inside the box is old photos of her children and her husband being happy. And I think Derek's computer is fritzing out. He said it was his iPad was low on battery, so we're gonna proceed, and you guys can talk for him unless he talks for himself.
Okay. So yeah, we need a better plan than just sort of going in there and doing what we did last time. Okay.
I mean, I feel like the plan was good. We just, there was something happened.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good if we just go down. I think we should follow the tunnel and see where it leads.
I say we be a little bit more sneaky to try to stop her. Yes. So let's go, and we hear, Two Spirit when he calls us over to like look at the box. I would imagine, and we see these pictures, right? And I'm like, what if she sounded really sad about her daughter or her children earlier when she was telling us the story? I feel like this could be a good leveraging card for that. Eh?
Oh, what if? All right, I got a plan. This is awesome. This is awesome. Check it out. This is all right, Monty. Check it out. You are gonna turn invisible and take the pictures, and you're gonna go down there. And when you find her, you're gonna start just putting the pictures down, right? And then they'll like not be invisible anymore because you are not holding them. Is that how that works?
Okay.
And then they'll like appear around her, and it'll be like, I don't know, some like magic message that she gets. Right? Right? Come on.
I feel like being more direct and telling, reminding her that maybe her children, her life that was happy before all this, doesn't have to end with her hurting all these other children. Might be a good idea. I don't know.
I think that would be a good idea, but like I feel like I could come down there, pictures in hand, and be like, "Hey, La, you're blah 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 blah," because I'm drowning now. I don't know. But anyway,
Let's start by going down, hey? And we'll figure it out from there. That sounds like
plan. All the plans have going down. So
Okay, so you go down this. You open up the hatch, and it leads to a sort of tunnel that opens up like an underground river type thing, and it's like a cave that flows along this underground river. Yes.
I say we hurry up to try to get to her quickly before she takes your friend too far, eh? And so I start sort of sprinting, jogging.
When you sprint, you immediately see off in the distance La Llorona, and she's carrying bootleg on a sort of bed of water. She doesn't see you.
I'm going to call her out and say, "Hey!"
I'm calling you out.
No, I'm calling you out right here, right now.
This cave ain't big enough for the both of us.
Yes, I'm gonna say, "Is this really what you think your children would want to see from their mother?"
Roll initiative.
Yep.
Except we're gonna get drowned now.
Oh man!
No, I'm just kidding.
La Llorona rolled a poor initiative.
Good.
Thank gosh.
We will beat her with the power of love.
26.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Indigo.
You guys didn't know this is all about having a message on chat.
Indigo is gonna roll initiative.
Can you hear me?
Here anytime. Yep.
Yes, we can hear you now.
But you still need to roll initiative.
Cool.
Oh my gosh! He's got a 35 initiative. So, Chameleon, you talk. She turns around and says, "What do you know about my children?" In Spanish.
And I hold up a picture.
Indigo, it's your turn. But you're way far back.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a persuasion check. I guess persuasion would be the right one.
If you want to, like, run and yell.
No. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be running up, and it's like, killed them, and we know that you regret it. That's why you're taking these other kids.
Okay, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'm gonna give this a. Well, I'm gonna give you a circumstance bonus because, well, that's not gonna matter because you just rolled a 1. so rather than being helpful, she finds your voice irritating and she's not persuaded by your words and She says, I did want to kill them! That's why they're dead!
And I'm going to step forward and say, then why do you look so happy with your family? And I'm going to keep talking and say, I wish I had known a mother and a father and had been able to take pictures like this. This is not someone who wants to kill their family.
She is obviously affected by the picture, so I'm going to give you a +5 bonus, and you still got to make a persuasion check. Hopefully better than 4. Woo! 17 plus 5. That's 22. Yeah, she is listening to you. She's a little bit entranced, or at least she's not in the mood to attack you right now. So, Guixin, what are you going to do while Indigo and Chameleon are talking to her?
I'm going to... it seems like it's kind of working what Chameleon's doing there. So I'm gonna prepare my defensive action.
Okay, so just in case something goes wrong, you wanna be ready to catch it. All right, yes. Indigo, your turn. Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Push to talk.
Just like pull more stuff out of the box.
Oh, okay. So yeah, just kind of more. Yeah, she's getting stunned every time you take something out of the box. Like she knows what this is. She didn't want to look at it. She is. She's obviously upset by this. So she is. I'm gonna say that she's entranced right now, which basically like is stunned. So she can't take actions. She's paying attention. So as long as you guys keep pulling these pictures out. She's stunned. And so it is Chameleon's turn.
Oh, snap. What to do? I'm going to slowly inch forward, holding these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
We really want you to let the other children go and our friends. You don't have to punish yourself and try to take it out on all those around you.
All right, make that persuasion check. Giving you +5 again.
Yeah, 14.
She was starting to seem like she was being affected, but all of a sudden she seems to snap back out of it. Everybody make a perception check real quick. Guixin and Indigo, out of the corner of your eye, you think you see the shadows in the cave growing bigger. And it is Guixin's turn.
Okay, well, as she's coming off of her trance or whatever, I'm going to I don't know, that's probably not going to work. It didn't work before. Like she's carrying him on a bed, but she's not like, is he like water shackled to the bed? Or
at this point, when she was being entranced, she actually dropped the bed of water, and so Bootleg was laying on the ground.
Oh, well then in that case, I'm going to fly in, grab Bootleg, and then keep flying straight past.
Okay.
And just keep going down the tunnel because I feel like...
Into the shadow?
Into the shadow?
Yeah.
There's a
shadow growing.
Oh, I thought the shadow was. I thought the shadows were just getting deeper within the tunnel. I didn't realize.
No, the shadow further in the tunnel, it actually seems like it's growing towards you.
Okay, so like it's a physical entity or
something like that. Yeah.
Something.
Have they? Yeah. I have no idea what that could be because I've never seen shadows move like that.
Right.
/ I didn't perceive it.
So I'm going to then fly up and instead of flying down the tunnel, I'm just going to grab bootleg and fly back.
Okay.
Towards everybody, so just kind of get into safety, and then I note the shadow and hope that something good's gonna come of it, but I'm like, more pictures, more pictures to do it.
On La Llorona's turn, she sees you take bootleg. She's irritated. She sees the picture. She's still a little bit disoriented, but her attention gets pulled purposefully away, like she's hearing something that you're not hearing. And then she sort of shakes her head and then nods and then runs into the shadow. And then the shadow disappears.
With that, Wushin's gonna go ahead and do a dab. Be like, yeah, got her.
Yeah, we're still missing one of your friends.
The cave does go further down, and the shadow is now disappeared. The shadow is no longer covering everything.
Right,
Well,
so I'm going to definitely fly down the tunnel then.
Yeah, we got to check the tunnel now. I'll watch bootleg, I guess. Why don't you? Or yeah, someone needs to be with bootleg.
Guishin's already with bootleg. He flew them back.
Oh,
down the
okay.
tunnel.
Oh, you're both okay. Cool.
But if Two Spirit and Chameleon wanted to walk further into the tunnel,
I will. Yes.
You see no sign of La Llorona, but the cave does open up to a very large cavern, and there are many, many children in cages. They all seem alive, but they do seem sick. And then you do see Takedown as well.
Thank you. We
So,
found them.
You did find the children. Seems like the only thing that they would need to recover, at least physically, would be some good food and some good rest. She didn't want to kill them all, it appears, but they were being disappeared.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, we're going to slowly start bringing them out of the tunnel.
Okay.
And back to the village and back to the people.
Takedown lets you know that she was a bit crazy. She did apparently hurt her children when her powers came about. And then she kept looking to replace her children with other children and was using that as a cover for not getting in trouble for killing her own children. So pretty much as you expected, but kind of a sad turn of events when her powers manifested. But now you have another decision to make.
Yeah.
Bootleg, once this is all said and done. Yes! Bootleg!
So the way we came in.
So yeah, Two Spirit, you have a decision to make. Chameleon, you have a decision to make.
Okay.
How do you want to report this, Indigo? Are you satisfied that the variants have pulled their weight and helped you solve this mystery? I'm gonna take that as a yes. And you report back to Grey Wolf, who is John Rasmussen, your superior. He is unhappy. He does not like the way this went down at all. Thinks you should have called for reinforcements. Thinks that Guishin is a terrible combat asset if he can't be controlled. But he recalls you anyway and says, you know what, the variants are too irritating to deal with in the future. We'll deal with things in-house from now on. Bootleg shakes his hand at Chameleon and says, "Hey, thank you, son. You really helped us out back there. I'd like to extend the invitation for you to have a home at the Greystone Academy for the Prodigious. I couldn't help but notice that you really liked the having food and a place to stay and even a bed. And we can guarantee you those things as well as a chance to learn how to control your powers. if you want to come with us.
And he looks at Guishin and Takedown and Bootleg and says, "Sounds like a good idea." Yeah.
And Bootleg grudgingly holds a hand out to Guishin as well.
I like reach out and is he like trying to shake my hand, or is he like?
Yeah, he's I appreciate you saving me back there.
Yeah, you know, you looked knocked out, and figured you probably didn't want to die.
Just shake my hand and take the compliment.
Okay, got it.
I appreciate it. All right, there we go. It's wrapped up. Episode 3. We got a new variant, and Two Spirit is going to go back to Achilles. Maybe a little bit wiser. Maybe I think he got along with the variants. I think they work together well, but apparently Superior doesn't. But go ahead and give yourself 1 PowerPoint each, so you can upgrade that, or you can save that to upgrade your character later.
Yes.
And chat, audience, Twitch, we really appreciate you being here. Or if you're watching this on YouTube or listen to a podcast, thanks for listening. This was the 3rd episode of The Variants, and we will be back in 2 weeks, and we will have, hopefully, our cast back. Unfortunately, Derek will not be with us, but we will have a new person to play games with. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm pretty excited for Sandy Gamboa to join us, and I think you'll really get a kick out of her as well. Want to remind you that next week we are having our Let's Chat, where we'll talk all about this episode, talk all about all the kind of stuff that you guys want to talk about, whatever it is, whether it's Mutants and Masterminds related, Optiverse, variants, or even Shadowrun, or whatever other things that you really like to talk about. So, Cass, do you have anything that you want to say?
Just thank you to the greatest audience out there. So thanks.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
And we were definitely down a couple of people. We definitely had some tech issues, but you guys stuck with us, and we really, really appreciate it. Derek, any parting shots?
Definitely.
Derek's just frozen.
But that's a great face to be frozen on.
So we'll see you later, Twitch. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.